Hey guys, Value Venture Investing here today. Here we are again today with more Tesla news. So I've been kind of following this from the beginning, and if you haven't already heard, which you probably already have, Tesla's actually just struck a deal with the SEC yesterday. And there's some conditions that are attached. It was a really bizarre set of events because it seemed that Elon actually turned down the SEC this exact deal almost, which was a very stupid move. And I was kind of thinking to myself, what is he doing? But now it appears that he's actually struck a deal with the SEC. And there's some conditions that are attached to it, and there's some things that it might affect in the future. And so that's what I wanted to look at today. So if you weren't already aware, these are the conditions. The stock is up something like quite a bit today. It basically recovered the gains or the losses that it had the other day when the news broke about this whole thing. So it's been skyrocketing back up over 300. But the conditions are, that he must give up the chairman for 3 years. Now, I don't think this is a really huge deal. He's still going to be the CEO, and that was the huge concern, is that he was going to be barred from being an executive of the company or possibly any company. So that's a huge win. Two independent directors. I think that's definitely a very good thing considering what's been going on. They need some outside blood into that board of directors, so to speak. Elon must pay $20 million, which is nothing for him. He's worth about $20 billion, and Tesla's $20 million. So I think this was very fair, but I don't think that the SEC should have made Tesla pay $20 million. I mean, it was all Elon, so why punish the shareholders? But for a company that really needs cash, but still in the grand scheme of things, $20 million isn't very much. So they're going to have a lot more oversight. So you kind of actually seen how this has happened already. It's very interesting to see that an email actually went out, I believe it was yesterday or today, from Elon to the employees about the Model 3 numbers that are coming out, and they actually released an 8K. If you know what an 8K is, it's just basically an SEC filing saying that there's some material information. This is something that Tesla's never done before, right? So this kind of shows that the SEC sent a message. Even though I think the SEC was really light on Tesla, it could have been much worse. I'm definitely happy as a Tesla shareholder that that it wasn't much worse. But it brings up some questions here. Like down below, I wonder about this. So, overall, I'm very happy that this has happened. But the one thing that we're looking at now is a lot of class action lawsuits. Now, I realize that these are like many, many years out in the future, but this definitely gives a lot of validity to those, to a lot of people that lost money. I was even thinking of selling. But luckily, as I said in my other video, I didn't. I just decided to weather the storm, and it turned out to be okay. But I mean, these are definitely things that are looming, and these are big dollar amounts if you want to look into that. Definitely not, anytime soon. So maybe the company will be profitable by then. They'll be doing better, but something to keep in mind. But the biggest one that I'd be worried about is the Department of Justice. Now, this whole thing gives the DOJ a lot of ammunition to go after Tesla or Elon in a criminal probe, and that's what I'm worried about. I'm really worried. I mean, that some of the language that the SEC was using in terms of his deliberate attempts to basically commit fraud, but yet not kind of go down that avenue, was a very clear indication that the Department of Justice might get involved. But I don't know. I mean, there was no admission of guilt, right? That was a key component of this Tesla deal, that Tesla or Elon didn't admit being guilty. But this is something that I'd be very worried about coming down the pipes. So it just basically adds another level of risk, right? So if you saw my other video on the Tesla valuation, where I actually did a valuation of Tesla, make sure you check that out. The stock price is arguably maybe overvalued right now. I bought it because I think that it's going to be going up just because it's just the hype behind it and everything. It could potentially be $600 a share, maybe $500 a share. So it all depends on the numbers, the growth, stuff like that. But this just adds another layer of risk. So in the next couple of days, we're actually going to see the Model 3 production numbers. So that's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see how the stock responds. But so I just wanted to make this video just to let you guys know what was going on, since I was kind of following this, and give you some information and give you my thoughts. I'm very curious to know your guys' thoughts. If you have any comments or anything, leave those down below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.